Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Bible study session. In our next few sessions, we'll be focusing on the book of Ruth, with these sessions focus being the book of Ruth, chapter 1. The book of Ruth is one of the most cherished books in the Old Testament. It is known for its profound themes of loyalty, providence, and redemption, as we will be seeing as we study this book. Chapter 1 sets the stage for the unfolding narrative and introduces us to the key characters and initial circumstances that lead to a beautiful story, as we will be seeing. That is a story of faith and fidelity. The events in this book, or the book of Ruth, occur during times of Judges, a period that's marked by social and religious turmoil in Israel, as we can see in verses 1 of chapter 1 of Ruth. This era, that spans from the death of Joshua to the establishment of the monarchy, is characterized by cycles of disobedience, oppression, repentance, and deliverance, as we have seen, or as we saw in the book of Judges. The setting in the land of Judah and Moab provides a backdrop rich in cultural and theological significance. As we read this chapter, it becomes evident that the main characters in particularly chapter 1 are Elimelech, Naomi, Mahlon and Kilion, and Orpah and Ruth, who happen to be the wives of Mahlon and Kilion. Now, both Orpah and Ruth are Moabite women who marry Naomi's sons, and as we see, their choices and loyalty become pivotal to the story that in this chapter. As we see, the chapter begins at a time when there is severe famine in the land of Judah, compelling Elimelech to relocate his family to Moab, which is a neighboring country which was often at odds with Israel. This move, in so many ways, underscores the desperation and difficult choices that faced by individuals during times of crisis. As we can see, Elimelech's decision is pragmatic but places his family in a land with different customs and a history of enmity with Israel, as we can see in book of Genesis and also in the book of Deuteronomy. Shortly after settling in Moab, Elimelech dies, leaving Naomi a widow in a foreign land. Her sons marry Moabite women, that is, Orpah and Ruth, which would in so many ways have been controversial due to Israelites' view of Moabites as outsiders. After a period of about 10 years, both Mahlon and Kilion also die, leaving Naomi bereft of her immediate family. This period of loss and sorrow sets the stage for Naomi's return to Bethlehem and the pivotal decision that follow. As we see, Naomi hears that the Lord had provided food for his people in Judah and decides to return home. Naomi's decision to return is both practical and spiritual. As we see, she seeks to reconnect with her homeland and community, where she perhaps believes she will find support and sustenance. As Naomi prepares to leave, she urges her daughters-in-law to return to their mother's house, where they might be able to find husbands or stability. Naomi's selfless concern for the well-being is evident in her blessing and wishes for their future. Orpah, after initial hesitation, decides to stay in Moab. However, Ruth clings to Naomi, expressing profound loyalty and devotion, as we can see in verses 16 to 17 of chapter 1. Ruth chapter 1 verse 16 to 17 says, "And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I'll go, and where thou lodgest, I'll lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Where thou diest, will I die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me." Ruth's declaration is not only an expression of loyalty to Naomi, but more importantly, it's also a commitment to the God of Israel, or the true God, which in numerous ways highlights her faith and determination to remain within the confines of God, or to remain worshipping the true God. Naomi and Ruth's arrival in Bethlehem causes a stir among the people of the town. Naomi, whose name means pleasant, asks to be called Mara, which means bitter, which reflects her feelings of loss and despair as she and experienced in the land of Moab. She laments that the Almighty has dealt bitterly with her, leaving her feeling empty and afflicted. Naomi and Ruth arrive at the beginning of the barley harvest, a detail rich with symbolic significance. As we come to an end, we have to highlight that the book of Ruth chapter 1 sets forth foundation for a narrative that's rich in themes of loss, loyalty, and also, or more importantly, divine providence. The chapter encapsulates the human experience of suffering and the hope for redemption. Naomi and Ruth's journey from Moab to Bethlehem is more than a physical relocation. It represents a journey from despair to hope, from emptiness to fullness. As the story progresses, the themes introduced in this chapter will be expanded and fulfilled, hereby demonstrating God's faithfulness and the transformative power of love and loyalty. We conclude by highlighting that this chapter encourages readers, all basically the followers of God, to trust in God's providence even during the darkest times, and to always recognize the importance of faith and community in the journey of life. Thank you for watching, and let us interact again in our next Bible study.